Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Let me see who's here. Let's see. Annie Bullard. Thank you so much for being here, Annie Bullard. And Marvell Walker. Uh, let's see. Fancy, fancy. Hold on a second, you guys. Okay. Um, you guys know I haven't been to sleep yet, right? Uh, Deirdre Mikey, Olivia Harris, and Lydia Washington. Hope you're feeling better. And the Invictus apparel. Let's see, Connie Balmer. Good morning, Connie Balmer. Could it be AM in both of our time zones? No, I don't think so. You're PM right now. Oh well. So close this time. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much, Connie Balmer. Thank you for the super sticker. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Oh, by the way, let me grab some slides while I'm here. I got so much to say. At least I think so. But I'm not going to say it all because at a certain point, I need to sleep. But I was too excited to sleep. I wanted to share this as soon as I could. So anyway, let me get my slides up. And, But yes, thank you, Connie Baumer. Thank you for being here. And yes, let's not forget there is a fundraiser. I think they said, well, you know what? Don't have me try to quote the number, but they were so close to I think it was 38,000. I think that's what I heard. Huh. I'm not finding the link. Well, anyway, it's on the screen now, but there it is. There it is. I got it. There it is. So there's the link for the Centabale fundraiser at the top of the chat. Okay. Sonia Johnson, Rodney Jackson, and Puzzle Dot. Brenda Lawler. Oh, there's my there we go. There is my thumbnails. Well, my slides. Okay. So I'm just going to go all the way to the, Elaine Parker. Thank you very much. Top of the morning to you. And the rest of the day to yourself. Kathy Gabby is here. All right. So how many people watched The Heart of Invictus? It was so good. I said, I'm going to go to sleep. I watched the first two. Then I was at the third. And then I'm just like, you know what? I can't sleep now. Got to finish watching it. So to make sure that I didn't come on at 9 o'clock my time, I decided let's go ahead and hello, Heather Greaves. Thank you for being here. Why don't we just talk about it now? So I got a few things. Heart of Invictus review. Prince Harry in Hawaii. Got a couple of questions about that. And of course, the British media's first reaction. Well, maybe just a couple of the reactions. Hello, Sherry Ware. Dara Edgehill. I'm seeing all these names that I don't see most days. Diamond Blue, Joan Commonwealther. See, I think my late hours, I'm missing a lot of people. Go figure. Okay. Hello, Alicia. All right, so let's go here. Now, this is a photo that I keep sharing because I think it is just like one of my favorite photos. And this was used by one of those one of those news magazines in Germany to promote or announce the up and coming um, Harry interview that they're going to have, Prince Harry's interview on German television. So I um, I shared a whole bunch of those what do you call it? Those articles. Matter of fact, while I'm here, why not? So there you go. That was the one where I first used it. And we're just going to go through these really fast since we've done it already. But we're going to go through it very, very fast. So, Harry and Pistorius, I believe that is the defense minister for Germany. Good morning, Patricia Marcel. And of course, Der Spiegel. You, if you, even if you've never been to Germany, even if you don't know German, the language or anything like that, um, chances are you heard of Der Spiegel. And Der Spiegel is like a really prestigious magazine, I think. Um, I know Connie Balmer. I know. And I would have waited today, except there was just so much to talk about right now. But lately, a lot of the news has been coming out later, especially for Harry and Meghan, because, as you know, when they had the announcement about the well child, there was a hold on the press release until midnight GMT time, meaning, other words, not until after midnight in the UK, but it was 6 p.m. for us. So if I had gone on sooner, I'd have missed that until the next day. Not that that's the worst thing in the world, of course, but yeah, I know the time zones can be very tricky. Hey, BR, let's see. I believe Invictus Games will be as big as the IOC. Kudos, Harry. Yeah, it probably. What is the IOC? I'm like, yeah, but what is the IOC? Um, oh, great, great. I'm glad that we can keep you company. Okay, so there's Despigo. Um, and then I forgot this magazine, but anyway, that was, well, obviously, that's the one where I hijacked that photo. And then, of course, the ZDF Sports Studio is actually, that's the radio, no, television show that Harry is going to appear on. And then here's another one that was letting you know that the German president is going to speak at the closing ceremony for the Invictus Games. And of course, there's this one, which is some other magazine, and this, which is Mercurius, and this, Gala, yes, and this. So they have been given blanket coverage of all of this in Germany. However, in the United Kingdom, up until today, it has been mostly crickets when it comes to anything to do with the Invictus Games. So, what a difference a day makes. Okay, so don't need that. Let me get back over to this slide. Hello, Emma D. Now, there we go. Now, one of the things that I really loved was seeing The Office. As you know, this is the very posh and yet minimalistic, very Italian, Tuscan villa like office that is shared by His and Her Highness the Duke of Sussex, Duke and Duchess of Sussex. This is the office that they share, and so parts of the Invictus, heart of Invictus, you could see Harry in the office. There's a camera on top, one of those video cameras for the Zoom calls on top of his computer. Much better image than the camera that comes included with the PC. But as you can see, Harry was hard at work, um, trying to, work out things with the Invictus game because, as you know, this was like, well, I guess you can say it was like an international team that put it all together. And because of the pandemic, parts of these conversations took place when, we were still wearing face masks. So just give me an idea, because the Invictus game in The Hague was actually delayed twice, is what we learned from the um, okay, so this was the first reaction from the Daily Fail. And I mean to tell you, it took them about maybe 3 hours, 4 hours. But before you know it, I mean, they were as busy as a cat covering up poop. Prince Harry appears to take another jab at royal family, saying he didn't have a support network after return from Afghanistan, and he curled up on the floor in a fetal position in the new network's documentary. Well, of course, they were quick to jump on that one, and I would say appears to is not as awful as they could have used for the headline. I'm surprised they were so generous, but they were probably trying to decide whether or not they were going to, you know, really go there. And then, of course, what was the other one there? Prince Harry claims the media did not cover the British soldiers. Now, all of this is stuff that you may have heard in Spare. So, yeah, it was most of the stuff where he talks about his own mental health is all repeated. All of that is a repeat. Most of the focus is on the athletes. Very little of the focus is on Prince Harry. It seems broader, but it's really not. And then, of course, Prince Harry says he was unable to cry. Again, you guys heard that from the Spare. It's different because you actually see him in conversations saying these things, so that makes it different. And then, of course, up there's the cameo with Megan. You can barely see it for the light. And anyway, so all of these were the very quick, lightning fast reaction from the tabloid media. Good morning, VS. VS is going to be on later, you guys. Let me see. And moment Prince Harry jokes. Oh yeah, so this one, the one on the very far right side, I can't believe it took so long, but that is actually the fail reacting to the surprise screen. Well, when Harry surprised the people at the screening, they got free tickets for a screening of the the Heart of Invictus, and that was a story that for some reason it took the fail about 24 hours to actually write a story about it. Good morning, Charles Lambert. And in case you guys missed it, I'm going to just show you a brief part of that, not the entire video, but let me just show you a brief bit of it, just in case you missed it.
You all serve, whether you're the ones who wear uniform, or whether you're the spouse, or whether you're the child that gets moved around the country or moved around the continent. Nice of you to dress up for the occasion. Suits and ties, no? I really just wanted to say a huge thank you for coming out tonight. You guys get to see Heart of Invictus, which has been the last 2 years in the making, sooner than anybody else. So it'll be coming out on Wednesday. You guys get to watch it tonight, or at least 2 episodes. Sort of whet the appetite for the rest of it. But yeah, it's nice to be back in San Diego. I was here a couple of months ago for the Warrior Games. Anybody else was in the Warrior Games? Good, wonderful to see. Look, you all serve, whether you're the ones who wear a uniform or whether you're the spouse.
Okay, so there you go. Now, you probably remember David Weissman. That's the guy in the, I guess it's kind of gold pants there. That is the guy who took a bullet for his country. And the guy on the far left side, oh my goodness, I forgot his name, but he does television in the UK. And he was, I think a lot of his injury is on his hands and on his torso. And I'm embarrassed, I can't remember his name. But well, anyway, you will see them in the series. And this is just a random, I don't even know what year this one was from. Let me see here. I don't think you come on this early, Fabulous. Now I won't fall asleep half through the lot. Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't gone to bed yet. That's the thing. I haven't gone to bed yet. JJ, is it JJ Abram? JJ Abram, right? Okay, that's right. JJ sounds very familiar. I'm sure it's JJ something. JJ Abrams, I think. Okay. So, anyway, I'm going to avoid giving away most details. I'll let you guys work that out for yourselves because I know some of you all haven't seen it. So I will do the very least, just stuff that we've already talked about. Okay, I'll try to stick to that. Okay, so Prince Harry surprises the Chula Vista moviegoers. Well, that's what we just looked at. What was really cool about this is that is a local news story for San Diego. See right there, it says Prince Harry wanted to do something special for military members and veterans in San Diego County in partnership with the USO. So that is actually the story that is running alongside the premiere of the docuseries, which is really cool. I wish there would have been more of it yesterday, but like I said, even the Daily Fail didn't really catch on to it yesterday. But this did come out last night. So attendees took to social media as Duke of Sussex dropped in for a meet and greet at the AMC in Chula Vista before his Netflix docuseries premiered. All right, and so I want you guys to hear this soundbite. This is the Jeremy Vine show, and they're having a discussion about whether or not they should refer to Prince Harry as a hero. Okay, so let me get that for you, and you can hear it for yourself. Okay.
We need to take away what his belief system is or whatever he feels like in his family environment and say that, you know, hero is a strong word, but anybody in his place of power, as somebody who is very well known in the world, talking about mental health, it can only be a good thing. It's the leading cause of death in men under 50. Okay. It needs to be talked about.
Let me just quickly speak to Richard, who's called in West Glamorgan. Richard, good afternoon. What are your thoughts on this? Can we give him that title? Is he a hero when it comes to mental health?
Yes, I think he is, because I've been in that situation myself, although I wasn't in Afghanistan, but I served in the military. I lost my mother 3 years ago. I struggled, still struggle.
I'm sorry to hear that, Richard. Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear
So
that.
there'll be so many people like you, Richard, who, you know, this really makes them relate. He is talking about things, although he's come from this sort of strange environment and none of us can relate to that bit. It's very human, isn't it? He's talking about really emotive subjects.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You don't need to be sorry,
Never
Richard.
apologise
I'm
for
glad that you
anything.
pick up the phone and you speak to us. We're here to listen to you, and I think it's really important. I think you emphasise what also he's trying to do. Did you feel that you had enough help, Richard, when you needed it?
Well, I was antidepressant tablets, but they help to a certain extent. But although I lost my mother, I don't have any family. She was my only relative, and I was with the military for 3 years.
Richard, you know, the Samaritans are amazing as well if you need them. They're always on the end of the phone. If you're having a tough time, you need to talk to somebody.
And you could talk to us, Richard.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done for ringing, Richard.
You could talk to us. Thank you for calling, Richard.
Really testing times, and
Okay.
we need to take away what.
Okay, so it started playing again. That was the very beginning part of it again. So it started off with the guy in the blue blazer, followed by the guy with the beard there. And then, of course, you may have heard the lady's voice. And the question is whether or not they should call Harry a hero. Well, as he said, there are so many veterans every day that are lost. I think in the United States is at the rate of 22 per day. 22 per day. 22 veterans a day we lose because of that. And Harry is bringing the conversation to the forefront. He's creating safe spaces where awareness can be explored. And of course, Harry differentiates between mental health and mental fitness, or mentally ill and mental awareness of fitness. In other words, Harry doesn't want anyone, and a lot of other, people are having these conversations. Let's not look at it as something that is a permanent situation. Of course, it's something you have to be aware of. You have to make sure you're managing your situation. But in other words, don't label yourself and then succumb to the stigma or a self-fulfilling prophecy, that kind of thing. So very, very interesting conversation they were having. And while I was talking about that, I started thinking about another phone caller. You guys might remember this. Now, trigger warning. This one is one that I've played before, and it always seems to, but it's also a very important one. I'll just play it for you.
The way it's been phrased within the Mail on Sunday and the Mail online is just that looking forward to the Queen's Diamond Jubilee celebrations in June. I mean, they are literally saying that if Harry and Meghan come, the media circus around them will distract from the Queen's celebrations. Well, who is driving the media circus around them? Step forward, the Mail online and the Mail on Sunday.
Exactly. And Angela has been saying so many that Harry says he wants security and he might be in danger. Oh, please, he's narcissistic. So I would like to draw the attention to an article that was in the Mirror in March last year, where under the heading, as Army, let me just read it out again so I get it right. Prince Harry amongst most at-risk royal as Army service makes him top terror target. And the journalists have interviewed a couple of years back somebody from the Taliban who said ever since he joined the army, they've been trying to get him. And then as an Afghan leader, Owari Masrullah, who said it's just Harry's luck that he's been managed to escape so far. And then they've interviewed a former SSL soldier, Bob Kraft, and this was on the 11th of March 2021, who said that Harry is clearly a target for kidnapping, terrorism, and a whole lot of threats, and will need protection for a very long time. But whatever you think he should or shouldn't, and this gets me upset.
Oh,
It's
Gertrude.
5 days. He risked his country for 10 years, and the Queen observed us for 70 years, and they can't give them 5 days peace. It's horrendous.
Gertrude, please. I'm sorry you feel so sort of emotional about it, and I can understand why this story might resonate with people, and certainly anybody who's had family difficulties. I'm sure you can feel or empathise with different characters in this story. Gertrude, I'd like to say, I mean, I take all your points, brilliant points, by the way, about how Harry is a target and has been a target for evil. But I'd like to think anyway that these are a family that they don't need our tears. They've got enough, whether it's Harry and Meghan, the Sussexes, or the rest of them over here. They've got enough. They don't need our tears as well, Gertrude. Thank you for the call. And I hope you have a better rest of the day.
Well, he sure shut her down fast enough, didn't he? Yeah, Gertrude. And by the way, the name is JJ Chalmers. Thank you, everyone, for reminding me. But yeah, so it's always that question of is he or isn't he? Does he or does he not? Is he a hero? Is he not a hero? Is he a traitor? Is he not a traitor? Does he deserve security or does he not deserve? It's so ridiculous that the question is even being posed in the first place. Harry is the son of a head of state. And I cannot think of any head of state anywhere where the child of the head of state is left to pay for security out of his pocket. And all Harry is asking for at this point is to allow me to have the proper security provided when I visit my nation of birth, and I will pay for it. And they said no, that's not allowed, even though it has been done before. So it's always interesting how, in spite of all of the media slant, that they are still able to get some very, very good phone callers in there. And bear in mind, these phone callers, those are the real British people. Those are the real subjects of His Majesty the King. Those are the real citizens, not the talking heads that you see on all these shows. Those are the real people. And I believe in my heart that most of them know better. It would be a great world if everyone stood up at once and said, we're not having it. But that's not the world we live in. Most people are just trying to take care of themselves from one day to the next. And, there's only a handful of people that speak up and speak out in any culture. But it just goes to show that in spite of everything that they try to suppress, all of the gaslighting that they do, when given a proper phone call or an opportunity to hear from real people, it's interesting how it never really works out the way they think it will. And especially on Jeremy Vine. I don't know where they get these callers from, but they have had some really, really interesting people on that show. So cheers to that. Let me see. Looking at a couple of your comments right now. Good morning, Black Queen. Is it Julie G. Williams or is it Williams? Anyway, good morning. Okay. Good morning, Charlotte. Fatima. All right. Okay. Good morning. Deidre Mankey, let's see. Deidre says, Baron, Lord have mercy. What's wrong with people? As a spouse of a former military man, it's needed. Mental health, fitness support. Absolutely. Good morning, B10 pal. So I don't know whose auntie this is, but Imarn, is it Aiton, an anti-racism activist, praised new Netflix documentary Heart of Invictus as inspirational. And then, of course, this is the part she really leaned in on, but said it did not change her negative view of the Sussexes. Really? Really? Now, you all warned me about her before. You said, oh, she is not to be trusted. Um, well, and of course, the time I saw her, it had nothing to do with defending the Sussexes. It was more about racism in the United Kingdom. So she's always standing up against that. But for some reason, she seems to have it in. It's like she talks out of both sides of her mouth. And she has turned into a real Uncle Ruckus, if you ask me. Lydia says, bearing up and on this early. Thanks for all the well wishes and happy to be back. Hello, all at work and listening in. Well, thank you for that, Lydia Washington. And thank you for the super chat. Glad you're feeling better. But yeah, so people warned me about her, and I was just like, yeah, but she told so and so such and such, and says, she is quite a character. Let's see, this is the same person who said they need to just go away and be quiet forever, or something like that. And she's a supposed activist. She is seemingly jealous of the attention Harry and Meghan get. That is quite apparent from the couple times that I found out who she really was. But yeah, I was really disappointed with her. Which is why I've given her a makeover. I'm like, I'm going to give her a makeover. She needs an Uncle Ruckus makeover. But it's really too bad. But far too often they find, some black person who will say what they need to have said. And well, anyway, I guess nothing to do now but wait for the check to clear. It's heartbreaking. Now that really breaks my heart. When it comes to that, I'm like Gertrude. When I see something like this, I get that very emotional feeling like Gertrude. Yep, a turncoat. Thank you, Joanne Baker. Let's see. Besides this, is the only reason she's getting on TV, and that they allowing her to get on and popping up only to bash the Sussexes. Hope the check is worth it. Amen to that. Thank you so much, Lilo. Yep. Oh, you like it? You like the little makeover? Oh, wait. There we go. And let's see. Helen Cole says, nice you're on early. Will you be back later? If there's enough, to talk about, I might. But not sure yet. Okay. So, I was wondering why Harry was in. Well, you know what? I'll do this part first. So, this is in People magazine. Prince Harry is like a brother, says Invictus athlete, shares their special Hawaiian trip exclusive. So, I'm trying to avoid the spoilers, but you are going to see this guy because he's all over the place right now. And so that's why I decided to share it. And all I can tell you guys is try to watch it as soon as you can. They're an hour long each, but this guy is everywhere. This is People magazine, and you're not going to avoid running into him because he is like the breakaway character from the series. Prince Harry is like a brother, says Invictus athlete, shares their special, whatever that is to cut off. Invictus games are spotlighted on a new Netflix series, Heart of Invictus, and People's exclusive speak to Invictus game competitor. Gabriel gave George participation in the latest Invictus sparked many new connections, including with Prince Harry. George, 37, competed for Team USA at the Invictus Games in the Netherlands last year and is among the athletes cameras followed for new limited series Heart of Invictus, which debuted on Netflix on Wednesday. The medically retired Navy is it Corpsman? Yeah, you pronounce it Corpsman, right? Black Queen, whose right arm was paralyzed in a 2008 motorcycle accident, later leading to an amputation, exclusively tells people in this week's issue that he instantly clicked with Harry when they met at the Invictus Games in The Hague. Every conversation that I've had with him has been just like I'm talking to a friend, a brother, maybe because of the military connection that we have. George tells people of connecting with the Duke of Sussex. We share where we just left off. Oh, that's cool. We share where we just left off. The conversation just continues to go on. Could you imagine that one day you're struggling in every way conceivable, and then almost as though someone waved a magic wand, you're hanging out with the Duke of Sussex? I mean, there's just no way you could see that coming. Yeah, B10, real kinship. And I don't know. It's just one of those things. It really is just one of those things. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, it was heartwarming. So right there you can see Prince Harry, 38, served in the British Army for a decade, rising to the rank of captain and undertaking 2 tours of Afghanistan. He launched the Invictus Games in 2014, being inspired by the Warrior Games in the US. The International Adaptive Sports Competition for injured, sick, and wounded service personnel and veterans aims to amplify the transformative power of sports for those who have served. George made his mark at the latest Invictus Games in archery, swimming, and rowing, and meeting Harry there, spoiler alert, led to a scuba dive together in Hawaii in November 2022. Diving is uniquely therapeutic for George's chronic shoulder pain as the plunge provides relief and release. I go to talk a lot about that with Harry. He was able to understand and to relate. George tells people once he hit the water, it was like I had another buddy swimming around, having a good time. You could see the smiles through the bubbles and all that stuff. He says of the adventure with the Duke of Sussex. That had to be surreal. It really had to be surreal for that to happen. And there you can see that huge stingray manta ray. And of course, there's a scene from the Invictus. Okay, and then right there, let me see. Is that his aunt? No, he was with his aunt while he was there. Why do I have this photo? Anyway, I don't know. Let me go on to the next one. So Prince Harry made a surprise appearance at Heart of Invictus screening in California. Here's yet another one. So People magazine is another news outlet that decided to run this story. And if you look at the date, you can see the article is dated for today. Again, I don't know what took so long. It was all over social media yesterday, but sometimes it just takes that long. And then there is the cameo. Again, there's no way you were going to avoid seeing this. So there you go. That's Megan, one of Megan's cameos in the docuseries. And Megan looking proud as could be. I don't even know what occasion this is from. I don't think this is from the docuseries, but there's Megan looking proud at Harry. Now, the guy there is wearing one of those mare necklaces or whatever it is. So I don't know exactly where this is from, but one of the squatties posted this because Harry is looking all proud. Good morning, Anne of Duchess of Success. And now, here we go. So Harry was in Hawaii. Do you guys remember this? As soon as I heard Hawaii, something clicked. I said, oh, did they say Hawaii? Now, this visit was recorded. Well, actually, there were photographs from someone in a naval uniform. I don't suppose Harry was doing anything for future projects. However, he was there. There was no explanation. There was no story that followed, only images of Harry meeting the sailors at the, the Pearl Harbor Memorial. And here's another one. So I know these almost look identical, but they are not, because that's the family of the high-ranking brass at the Pearl Harbor. So you see there, those are your sailors and a few big brass. And then there you can see the big brass and what looks like their families. So very cool. And I don't know what part of the Pearl Harbor Memorial this is, if indeed it is part of it, because remember, there's also a naval base in Hawaii. At least I think there's still a Navy base there. Yeah, it should be. And then there he is shaking hands. So I'm kind of glad that that was included, because it was just another excuse, just in case there's derangers and hate watchers, to remind everyone at how well received Harry is by the military. And that, of course, includes the Navy. I mean, look at the grins on everybody's faces. There's nothing but respect for the Duke of Sussex. And of course, I feel awful that I have this need to defend him because of that. But since they like to keep the gaslighting going, I feel obliged to set the record straight. And if that means reminding people again and again the relationship between the Duke of Sussex and the rest of the military, then I'll just keep doing it. And then there's this one. This is my favorite. Love lift us up where we belong. Whether he goes fly on a mountain high. I mean, there's an officer and a gentleman, if I've ever seen one. I know that somewhere in Kensington Palace, a laptop probably flew out of a hand-blown glass window pane. I'm sure of it. Somebody smashed something. I don't know, but I just got that feeling that somebody may have broke something, or maybe someone was attempting to cook again, and next thing you know, you see her out in public with plasters all over her fingers. Band-aids for us in the US. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that it got weird after they saw these. Um, Welcome home, Harry. Welcome home. Wait, what does the carpet say? Commander, United States Pacific Fleet? Interesting. Okay, so I think he's at a naval base. Well, again, I never heard anything else about this visit, and maybe we never will. But thank you for the memories. And then there was these that were they ran those in the papers too. Black Queen says, Baron, what laptop? Don't you know they only throw soft pillows? Oh man. But yeah, so and I don't know who the guy with the flat hat on, the white hat. I don't know who that is, but maybe he's one of the what do they call those? The dozers, the secure not security, but tour guides. Maybe it's some tour guide or something like that. Don't know. Very interesting though. So I just thought I would share these with you just in case you guys had some ideas. Um, okay, so did that say November they were there? Somebody check and see when Harry was at the Pearl Harbor Memorial. See if that was the month of November. And I don't recognize anyone in the background. Let me see. I don't say enough, but thank you for the Sussex friendly channel. Oh, Deidre Mikey, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, see if it was November. I'd be interested to know. Well, there you go, you guys. If you can figure that out, let me know. And right here, best of luck, Invictus Games 2023. My neurologist tells me all the time you are not your condition. Coming here is where I can apply his words and I can see what I can do. And that's from Tiffany Johnson. So is that Army Corporal? Yeah, Army Corporal, right? Tiffany Johnson, Team USA member. So help us wish our athlete luck at the Invictus Games 2023 in Dusseldorf, Germany. So that was posted by the ARCP. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Lydia. It was November. Huh. Well, there we go. All on the same visit. Interesting. And right here, Prince Harry documentary Duke describes emotional trauma after Afghanistan. So the BBC ran this story today. People are reacting to the docuseries, and I'm so glad. And you know what, guys? Do take a deep breath, swallow hard, because there's going to be a lot of, little backhanded compliments and the occasional flat out criticism. And of course, there's going to be a lot of second guessing everything that is mentioned in the series. But it is for the purposes of the injured, wounded, and sick warriors. So Harry is aware of that. Don't feel overwhelmed with that anxiety if you can help it. Try not to, let it get to you. But we know it's coming, and it's been here already. It's happening as we speak. The tabloids are going to pick it apart, but it's going to bring a lot of attention to the people who need it the most. And that, of course, is the athletes and their families. So it all is part of the territory. Harry didn't start Invictus because he wanted everything to be covered in cotton wool and packed away in bubble wrap. So he's putting himself out there for everyone's sake. So it says here, the Duke of Sussex has described his emotional unraveling after he returned from military service in Afghanistan in 2013. In a Netflix documentary series about the Invictus Games, Prince Harry said, "The biggest struggle for me was that no one around me could really help. The trigger for the for the Duke's trauma had been serving in Afghanistan, but he links it to the loss of his mother, Princess Diana, who died tragically and mysteriously in 1997 when he was 12 years old. So already they're trying to say, well, William told him to get some therapy when he was 17. That may be true. Again, that may be true. But the part that they are deliberately ignoring is that Harry said that when he turned 28, that was when everything exploded. It was age 28. That was when a lot of things went terribly wrong all at once. So it's one thing to say, oh, go get some help. But Harry said there was no one around who knew how to deal with me. And go get some help is not your family embracing you. That's not your family stopping briefing against you. And that's not your family not ratting you out to the media. Those very same people that did that is supposedly the people that were supposed to help him. I don't think you could have one without the other. Either you're trying to help me or you're trying to hurt me. And even if that was a suggestion, I would say that William needs help more than Harry do. I would say William needs help more than a lot of people. William is about as, I can't diagnose him. I'm not qualified to do that. But obviously, the man has problems, okay? And I get the idea he's going to be sovereign and they don't want him to seem like he's incompetent. He's incompetent, okay? He needs help and lots of it and soon. While his, he needs help. Okay. So there you go. And you know what? Let me take a couple of your comments before I get to that, because that's a whole nother thing. So let me take a look at some of your comments and then we'll get over to that one. Okay, yeah, that's not bad. Okay, right here it says, Onishi says, thank you, Baron. Keep reminding the haters what a kind and genuine good person Harry is. We have to keep praying for Harry, Meghan, and their lovely children, and Mama Doria too. But thank you so much for that. Let me scroll back just a little bit. James Holt. Now, is that the guy that that was in the Harry and Meghan docuseries, right? I think that's who you're talking about. Let me see. Mama Jane says, if this royal family can go to Suit and tell them what to do, telling them what to do on Suits, they can do more to destroy our faves, is not going to work. Yeah, they seem to have a lot of reach. And that's the other story that's trending. I talked about it yesterday. And since I talked about it, there's probably 20 new articles out there about how the royal family was meddling around with the script for Suits. So all of them are talking about that. I think it's going to kind of disappear, though, because there's going to be a lot of coverage of the Invictus games. I'm sorry, the Heart of Invictus. We got to make sure we get that right. The Heart of Invictus is the documentary series that was 2 years in the making. The Invictus Games 2023, that takes place on the 9th of September. So I don't want to confuse anybody. So we're still waiting for the Invictus Games. Uh, yes, Sash. I thought I heard something. I did. I thought I heard something. Okay, I'm gonna go back in the other direction. Oh yeah, I would love to see them reenact the ending of Officer and the Gentleman, Harry and Meghan. There are mountains in our way, but we climb a step every day. Hey, Church Nelly, you finally come to. I mean, you finally woke up. Let me see. Yes, Baron, I did not see through a compliment, which on further listening after what is that? Precociously tweeting a chat a hater incognito put out there. I now have to go search for that tweet and erase it. Oh, okay. Yeah, the haters are going to be busy on the social media today. They are going to be very busy. Okay. All right, so I'm going to move on from this topic, you guys. Thank you. I hope I didn't give away too much. I pretty much stuck with what is trending like crazy. And there was no way you're going to avoid Gabriel. So it is still so much. Even with Gabriel, there is so, I mean, you guys, they go very, very deep. Do not feel as though you have seen too much. I promise you, they go to some places that I did not see it coming at all. And that's why I'm not talking about certain things. And if you have watched it, then you know what I'm not talking about. But I was just like, wow, this went so much further than I was anticipating. And if you have been following the Sussexes closely, if you followed the Hague Invictus games, then there's quite a few things that you'll be like, oh, yeah, I remember that. But either way, I'm not going to discuss it. So I will try to avoid all those other ones, until like maybe for the next couple days. But please do go and watch it. Very illuminating, enlightening, amazing. Yeah, just amazing. Let's see. Was it Ken Hull? Hale? Thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy Heart of Invictus Day. Okay. Yes, Marshar, award winning. All right, now let's talk about Mount St. Thomas Markle. Do you guys remember when Thomas Markle started pouring tea all over Australian television? Well, two things. Over on the left, Seven has won in defamation case over Markle's interview. Now, Seven, I think that is the television show in Australia, right? Now, take a look on the right. Australia Channel 7 has deleted a September 15th Thomas Markle interview where he accuses, what's his name? Jeff Rayner. Okay, no, Coleman Rayner, LA. Yeah, I think his boss, Jeff Rayner, a former American Media Inc. executive, Dylan Howard, of using him to sabotage the Sussex's wedding. Lawyers for Howard deny the claim and threaten legal action. So, if you all remember, we were scrambling to hurry up and screen record this before they removed it. And what happened? They removed it. But there are several members of the Sussex Squad Detective Agency that have it. So I'm not at liberty to play it, as they did remove it from social media. But I'll give you as much. Oh, by the way, Cass Sterling, thank you so much for the super sticker. And happy Wednesday to you. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. So I don't know where to start. Let me just do this. So there's Jeff Rayner from Canterbury stage photo of Thomas Markle before royal wedding. Canterbury, I think that's like was that a photo agency or whatever, paparazzi, something like that. Well, what had happened was, before the wedding, Thomas Markle, if you recall, allegedly was paid a nice sum of money to go for the fitting of a tailored suit, which was staged, to sit in a cafe and read up on Britain. He had a book called Britain, and there was a picture of a castle on it. That was staged. And then the worst, to me, the worst was when Thomas was walking with some I think they were 2 pound, 5 pound weights, and curling his arms every step. And curling those big, chubby, hairy arms every step he took, as though he was training for the Olympics. And they took these photos well before the wedding. And then just days before the wedding, that was when they decided to release these photos. Now, the photos, yeah, Deidre, he's about a tree short of a hammock. The photos were published, I think it was the Daily Mail. And anyway, it's not known whether Thomas Markle made money from it or did they have something on him. Whatever it was, it was a disaster. And so, as the story goes, Meghan and Harry called Thomas Markle and told him not to talk to anyone from the press. You haven't, have you? And of course, he said no. And then that was when they started talking about these photos. And they asked him again, did you pose for any photos or something like that? Nope. And of course, they said, well, this is what you're going to do. Meghan is going to send you a ticket. Meghan sent a ticket, paid for with her credit card, for a first-class ticket to the United Kingdom, to London. And they were going to put him in an apartment where he could stay until the wedding. And the next words out of Thomas Markle's mouth was, well, I can't do that right now. I got stuff to do. So I can't leave yet. And at that point, Harry said in his book, the expression on Meghan's face changed. And Meghan said, he's lying. He's lying. And as we found out, he was lying. He did not want to come because he knew he had just lied about the photos. As a matter of fact, they even told him that you need to let us know whether or not you did this, because we can get rid of it this one time. But if you don't tell us the truth, they won't be able to help us ever again. And guess what? He didn't tell the truth, and they were never able to help again. Oh, by the way, CH, thank you so much for the PayPal. I don't like to use people's name. It might be different. But thank you so much for the PayPal. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. So, yeah, that is what happened. Thomas Markle was talking to the devil. And so Thomas, getting back to this thing on Channel 7, Thomas Markle started blurting out these very bizarre comments saying that the above mentioned people were trying to use him to interrupt or disrupt the wedding. Now, all of a sudden, Channel 7 was threatened with a lawsuit. So that image you see of Mount St. Thomas Markle, that was a screenshot of the actual video, which, by the way, I do believe that Omid Scobie, now I can't play the video here, but I do believe Omid Scobie has part of the video on his Twitter. So if you want to see it there, you can. But I don't even want to play the sound from it because that might be dangerous. But yeah, okay. I don't see it anymore. What happened to it, Omid? What happened? Okay, it was there. Now it's not. Uh-oh. Did he remove it? Interesting. Let me check one more place. Okay. It looks like either he removed it or someone removed it. But I got this screenshot from Omid Scobie's page. You see what I mean? This is way too hot to handle. So yeah, I'm not messing with that. But that's what the accusation was. Now, I don't know what is true or what is not true, but it was quickly removed from the YouTube by Channel 7. And of course, in another conversation, Thomas Markle did mention that the only phone number that he had to get in touch with Megan was for Jason Knopf. He had a number for Megan, but that one didn't work anymore. And so he was in constant contact with Jason Knopf, allegedly, according to Thomas Markle Sr. Let me see. Baron Married with Children was one of my favorite shows. Looking back, the set wasn't that bright. So the lighting, did the wildebeest get an so what lighting? Listen, not only wasn't the light on the set not so bright, but the person who got the Emmy Award wasn't so bright either. But I have a theory about that, Black Queen. Remember what they said that one of the royals' uncles was good for? Remember that? You know, the one that is, you know which uncle I'm talking about. So maybe that's what Thomas was good for. Maybe he won because they weren't just people that voted. Maybe they were some of his customers. Maybe that's why. Maybe they were customers in need of good lighting. Yeah, they were customers in need of light service. So well, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, maybe that's why things didn't work out so long with Doria, because she realized that she had married someone she didn't know so well. So yeah, maybe not all the light that he brought into people's life was hanging from the ceiling. Maybe some of it was all over the table. As I say, ever so cautiously. But I could just imagine some of the stuff that Thomas was into. But yeah, that's very interesting. Again, I just looked at Omen's page and I don't see that video anymore. It looks like he snatched it down or it was removed. Let me take one more look. That is so weird because I know I just, nope, it ain't there no more. I'm scrolling, and it's gone. Interesting. Wonder if somebody got in touch with him. Well, what have we here? So, the names Dylan Howard and Jeff Rayner are notorious in Hollywood. Feel free to research those people if you like. Inside, Coleman Rayner, the ruthless paparazzi who almost derailed the royal wedding with those photos. See what I mean? They're the ones that took the photos. Snap, snap. And then over here on the right side, I just threw that in there just to remind you guys. Thomas Markle proves how profitable a royal relative can be. Thomas Markle and Samantha Markle have both have been accused of selling out Meghan to the tabloids. Kensington Palace and Meghan and Harry would be well advised to make nice. I'm not sure what that means, but that's an article from Tom Sykes. I'm sure you guys have heard of him. I think this was Daily Beast. I think these articles were from Daily Beast. So that's interesting. Well, and then here, Thomas Markle can't go near tabloid honcho after alleged death threats. Now, that was reported in TMZ. The tabloid owner who claimed Thomas Markle is out to take care of him just got 2 years of court-ordered protection from Meghan Markle's father. I'm telling you, all of this got so weird. I mean, it was one weird thing after the other. According to legal docs obtained TMZ, a judge granted Jeff Rayner a restraining order against Thomas, who did not show up for Tuesday's court hearing. The protective order will be in place for the next 2 years, and even though Thomas Markle didn't show up for the hearing, the court says Thomas was served with legal papers or whatever. So how strange is that? Let me see. Did someone just say something about the Daily Beast? Oh, was it? Is that a Tina Brown thing? And it's owned by Rupert Murdoch now, right? Isn't News Corp the owners now? Oh, sorry. I was getting a bit dehydrated. But yeah, I think News Corp is the owners now. When the money dried up. Yeah, Church Nelly. Okay, Rosa Roberts says Thomas talked to TMZ, would not talk to Meghan. Well, they tried to get him on the plane, and in Harry's book, Harry said that when Thomas told them that he wasn't able to leave just yet because he got some things he needed to do, Meghan knew it. And see, when people are saying, well, not the squatties, of course, but when the derangers try to make the case, when the royal rodents try to make the case that she won't even talk to her father, this man is an old slick hustler. And not to mention, he is not altogether there. And I don't know if years of being in Hollywood may have burned out a few brain cells or whatever, but there's something that's not right about him. And I haven't said this in a while, but I'm going to say it again. I promise you, I'm not making this up. I'm not trying to say that I knew something. I took a look at Thomas Markle, And when I saw who her father was, not that I knew him, but I'm just saying, when I looked at him, I felt really bad inside. And I thought, oh my God, I don't want him to walk her down the aisle. I even told my sister at the time, I said, I don't think he should walk her down the aisle. Now, it wasn't only the look. The other thing was the fact that the wedding was coming up and Harry had yet to meet Thomas Markle. And I could not help but think that there was a really good reason why they had never met. I didn't know what the reason was. And so I mentioned it to a few people. I don't think that he should walk her down the aisle. I didn't know anything about this man, but I'm looking at him and I see a spirit over him that made me feel bad. It was a feeling in the pit of my stomach. And my sister, oh, well, that's her father. Why shouldn't it? I said, I just don't think it's right. I had nothing to go on except to look and also doing the math. How come Harry hasn't met him yet? And it just did not feel right to me. And I was thinking, I had these fantasies. Oh, it would be so nice if Barack Obama walked her down the aisle. I didn't think that that was possible, but I did not want it to be her father. And so when they said that he wasn't going to walk her down the aisle, it came as no surprise to me because I kind of thought he wouldn't be up to it in the first place. Now, some of y'all that have been longtime Royal Sussex listeners, I've said this several times. I'm saying it again for the first time in probably a year, but I just had this weird feeling when I looked at him. I said, something's not right about him. And turns out it's a lot, not just something, but there's a lot that isn't right about him. Diane Baptiste says, Baron, if it is true, a lot of answers about Daddy are revealed by Thomas Markle Jr. in Touch interview. Well, I I saw like a video testimony of Thomas Markle Jr. that was eye-opening. So if it's anything like that, I will take your word for it. But yeah, I could just tell there is a spirit of darkness over him. Like the light hits him and then it's just sucked away forever. BS says, you were not alone. I had hope for the best. And when the fake photo shoot occurred, I was like, oh, hell no. This is something. We'll talk about Harry and Meghan on their big day. Yeah. And I'm when I had that feeling, it was before the photos. It was before the photos. The photos did not help me make my mind up about him. It was long before the photos. I'm just like, he hasn't met Harry. And I remember when they said that, I think it was Harry said that they had a phone call and that they had talked on the phone and that he had asked for permission over the phone. And I'm just like, that doesn't sound right. And I looked at him, I'm just like, I don't think I want him walking her down the aisle. He looked like a big loser. So yeah, it was a combination of things. The timing, haven't met yet, and then just look at that big sloppy mess, that big vicious bowl of Jell-O. I said, nah. I remember that too. Rosalind, Harry sent a security team to bring him to London. Thomas sent them away. Meghan had the apartment and the team. Oh, that's it. What I remember was that they sent security for Doria, but Thomas didn't have any security. Plus, there's nothing wrong with living in Mexico. Don't think I'm about to say anything disparaging about Mexico. But the fact that he lived in Mexico, and a lot of expats, it was part of my mathematical equation. I felt like he wasn't living in Mexico because he found a nice vacation home or a place to retire. I felt like he was close to the action, so to speak. That was my feel. I just did not have a good feeling about it. That that was part of the math. He was living in Mexico. He hadn't met Harry. Doria had security, and he didn't. And take a look at him. I didn't like him. I did not like him. From immediately, my spider senses were tingling. I was like, not him. Please don't let him walk her down the aisle. Tugboat Thomas. So this was the when they okay. So Channel 7 has issued an on-air apology to Thomas Markle after Thomas Markle made unfounded allegations during a live interview yesterday. The interview was now being removed from all platforms. So that's exactly what happened. These two that interviewed him the day before, they look at their faces. You can see they are shell shocked because of the threat of legal action. So that is the day after, the morning after Thomas Markle sat up there and made all those allegations about the other two. So right here, TMZ, Thomas Markle can't go near tabloid honcho after alleged what he said. So I'm telling you, that was some strange, strange television. Do you hear me? Strange. The whole thing, I was just like, did he just say, did he really just, he was sitting up there singing like Aretha Franklin. He belted out every possible tune that you could think of to accuse them of did he say that they owed me money? I believe that was the one where he said they owed him some money or something like that. But anyway, well, no, I don't think it was money involved. I think he just said that they used him, So again, all of this is alleged, but it was funny and bizarre and weird. And I thought for sure that I was dreaming that I heard him saying what I heard him say. So if you're on Twitter, don't worry about trying to find it with Omid. There's other people who posted it again today. And of course, I also have some suspicions that Thomas Markle Sr. may somehow have a familial connection to the Yetis, those mythical creatures of the Northwest forest, mountain forest area. The Yetis have been well known, documented, that is, from testimony by people living in rural areas, including some of the native tribes. And if you notice, one of the things that screams Yeti, look at that very awkward dip in his knee, right? There's something very awkward about that dip that he has, especially while he's toting those bags of snacks and Kentucky Fried. Yes, there's something very awkward about that knee that screams Yeti. So if you notice the foot turned in, the knee dipped in that rather awkward way, I'm pretty sure that if you did some DNA, you will find out that Thomas Markle is part Yeti. Also, I suspect he may have been a love child of Otis the Wino and Aunt B. I mean, if you take a look at Otis from the Andy Griffith Show and Aunt B, also from the Andy Griffith Show, you can kind of see the similarity, huh? Right? No doubt about it. Now, Aunt B played this very pious character. Aunt B never had a boyfriend, never married. She was kind of like the old maid, a spinster, if you will. Well, somehow she never seemed to have any type of love life, but obviously during the filming of the Andy Griffith Show, somebody snuck away with Otis the Wino, and all those years later, Thomas Markle Sr. showed up on the scene looking just like his alleged father. So you must admit that the resemblance is pretty strong. Let me see here. And let me see. Oh, by the way, I think this is my last slide, you guys. I think we're done. So the other day, I told you guys that the Telegraph was grifting off of the Sussexes. Learn why the Sussexes are said to be receiving the cold shoulder in California and which stars are allegedly freezing them out. Now, this is an ad. This is an advertisement. This is not actually a current story. And so I finally was able to figure out which story they were talking about. And there it is. Harry and Meghan have violated the Hollywood A-lister code, and there's no turning back. Since they dropped their cluster of something of relations scarcely a month ago without talk of another cold shouldering. Oh, what does that say up there? Let me see. That ain't what it says. Oh, a month ago has gone by without of another. So anyway, this Celia Walden, I believe that is Hoghead Pierce Morgan's old lady. Ain't that Pierce Morgan's wife? Anyway, it's just a clickbait, and it is a way to get subscribers. The Telegraph is using this ad, which I've seen for at least 2 weeks. They're using this ad to get subscribers for their paper. And so yesterday, when we had that discussion about who actually brings in the most revenue when they talk about married couples, obviously it was the Sussexes. The Cambridges, they were like, maybe 4 or 5 positions down. So it is obviously Harry and Meghan that brings in the most revenue. And so that is why they use the Sussexes to, let me see if I can find it. Oh, by the way, YM Droid has a super chat. Not Otis the wine. Yeah, not Otis. Thomas Markle is a child of Colonel Sam. Well, he does carry lots of buckets of chicken down there in Rosarita, Mexico. But yeah, I can see that too. But let me see. Where was that? Nope. 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 I want to see if I can find that. Oh gosh, I had a lot to say yesterday, didn't I? Oh, not Jenny Bond. Nope. Talked about her yesterday. Huh? Maybe it wasn't yesterday. Was that yesterday or was it the day before? Oh, wait. I see it. Nope, that's not it. Well, never mind. Oh, but I still love that story. Well, anyway, there was a thing that said the Sussexes. Oh, that's it right there. Okay, so there you go. just in case you missed that yesterday, the royal couple is the most valuable, surpassing the likes of Beyonce and Jay-Z. So you can see there, Harry and Meghan, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Ben Affleck, Ben Affleck and J-Lo, and then William and Kate. And I promise you, if it's about William and Kate, you know this article started off with something about Harry and Meghan. If it was Charles and Camilla, you know whatever it was started off with Harry and Meghan. Black Queen says, Baron, for the reenactment, instead of Officer and a Gentleman, it would be Lady and the Street Urchins. Well, thank you for that, Black Queen. I'm gonna have to get off here soon. You all know I have not slept. I have been up all night because I watched the docuseries, so I'm not going to stay much longer because my voice is going on me. And let's see, I do have a list for today. Thank you very much, Sherry Ware. But yeah, so that was that. So they know that the Sussexes make money, and this information, actually, I saw that for the first time yesterday, which explains why the Telegraph has been using them to drum up subscribers for their rag. What a crappy way to make money. They don't even pretend otherwise. None of these other people would be worth the effort, so they stick with what they know, Harry and Meghan. Guaranteed moneymakers. Okay, so with that, you guys, I'm going to get out of here soon. As we always, we'll end with our queens. And let's see, let me go to the list. And thank you much. Thank you much. Thank you very much. Yeah, I need to sleep. Thank you much. Thank you very much, moderators. And thank you all that joined us so early today. And now I want to thank you, Heavenly Father, for shining your light on me. Okay, so thank you, Connie Barmer, Elaine Parker, Lydia Washington, Helen Cole, Ken Hole, Mama Jane, B10 Powell, and CH from the PayPal, Black Queen, and YM Droid. Thank you all for your very generous and thoughtful contributions. And with that, I am going to cue the Ginger Avenger. If I can uncross my eyes as fatigue sets in. Love you guys. And if there's anything interesting happening later, I will see y'all again later. Okay, you guys. VS is coming on. I don't know what time, but the link is at the top of the chat. I know she's coming on soon. So go to the top of the chat and click on that link. VS will be on live in a little while. So that way you can continue the conversation about the premiere of the, what was it? The premiere of the Heart of Invictus. That's it. You guys can continue the conversation over there. And if I wake up by then, which I probably won't, but whenever I wake up, I'll probably go back and watch it myself. So again, VS Speaks Royally is at the top of the chat. Please go over there, like, subscribe, and share. All right. Thank you very much. Love you guys. I will see you all later.